Quick question. 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 Quick question.
On the fifth day of Christmas, my true love gave to me. Quick Question Pod. Hey, everybody, I'm Jonathan.
I'm Travis.
And we are back for a holiday episode of
Quick Question. I feel so holiday-y.
It's that time of the year.
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
So that's what some people say.
That is what the song says.
Who sings that song?
Will Ferrell. No. That's the version I always think of.
No, wait. Andy Williams?
Sure. I mean, Andy Williams does all of them at some point. I've been listening to Christmas music since Halloween. Like, I have been on board. On board.
Guess what I'm doing today?
Oh, I don't want to.
Putting up my Christmas lights outside of my house.
Oh.
Guess what I'm doing tomorrow? Guess what I'm doing tomorrow?
Nothing. Not a damn thing.
Going out of town.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, so you're going to be in charge of turning those on.
Oh. I'll just put a clapper on them, and I'll just come by and go, clap on.
So.
Yes, my holiday friend.
Travis.
Yes, sir.
Quick question.
What is it, Jonathan?
How do you feel about Santa Claus?
Creepy. I think he's a creepy dude. I think he's a strange man.
I mean, what's creepy about a guy sneaking down a chimney when kids are sleeping?
And bringing you presents and making sure you don't tell your parents about it. Like, what's weird about that?
Wait, don't tell your...
You're not supposed to tell your parents, right?
You just completely made that up.
No.
That is definitely not how Santa Claus goes.
You're supposed to tell Santa what you want, not your parents. You're supposed to tell Santa Claus, I want these things, and not your parents. So it's
you don't have to. There's no rule that says you can't tell your parents.
No. He lives in a van, right? Santa lives in a van.
Santa lives in the van in the South Bay. It's a house in the North Pole.
That's not my Santa. That's not the Santa I grew up with.
He lives in a van by the South Bay.
Because he's not allowed to live in the city anymore.
Oh my gosh.
Is that not your Santa?
No, different Santa.
Maybe that's why I don't like him. I just think he's a strange tradition. I think he's really bizarre.
I fucking love him. I love him, Trev.
Okay.
I love the idea of him. I love the reality of him. I love it all.
Okay, help me get there because I think it's a strange thing.
Hear me out.
Okay.
I love enchantment. I love wonder.
Uh-huh.
I love that little sparkle and smile that Santa brings to children all across the globe.
Does he?
Yes, he does.
Okay. I just feel like in this climate, we need to be really cautious about who we put on people's laps. You know, like I just think it's strange thing.
You're breaking my heart.
I'm so sorry. I was Santa Claus once. It did bring a lot of joy to people.
Santa Claus is amazing. I love the idea that kids like that giving kids something to believe in. That's
right. Okay, but here's where the worm turns for me.
Is that a phrase?
Yes, it is.
The worm turns?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I like it. I'll allow it.
It's when you have to take that away. Inevitably, that has to go away at some point. That hurt me to a point that I don't know if I ever got over.
Yeah. I can see where your head's at with that. You know, I'm going to mess this quote up. My brother Jeff told me, he's like, when you're a kid, you believe in Santa. And eventually, when you're an adult, you are Santa. You become Santa.
Mm-hmm. And
I think it's really cool. So I understand the whole the ripping apart of Santa. And I'm going to speak in code because I don't know if any kids are listening to our podcast here, so I don't want to.
Santa's totally real.
There you go.
Yeah, just he may not be who you think he is. You never know.
Yeah, I love the idea that something can make a kid so happy or make you so happy when you are a kid, and then you get to do the same thing to others when they're kids. I love that whole, like, it's like a moth turning into a butterfly.
Except wait, that's not how it works at all. Moths don't become butterflies.
I meant a caterpillar turning into a butterfly.
But I was not questioning it. I was like, oh yeah, when moths become butterflies.
I meant a caterpillar.
Wait a minute. When a moth becomes a caterpillar.
Yes, when a moth becomes a caterpillar.
So magic. The circle of life.
Reverse amorphosis.
Reverse amorphosis.
AKA the rewind button.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that though. I think it's cool. I think that kids need more stuff like that to believe in.
But we have the Tooth Fairy and the Santa Claus and the Easter Bunny and who are the other ones?
I think they're all second fiddle, man.
I'm not saying they all get top billing. I'm saying we have other
We're
things.
not talking single card.
Yeah.
Well, this is. I'm not saying single card, but I'm not saying favorite nations.
Yeah, if these guys were all playing Coachella, Santa Claus is the big font for sure.
For sure.
Yeah, and then everybody else is the tiny font underneath. But we have a lot of things for kids to believe in. Now we have the Elf on the Shelf thing, which I still don't understand.
Elf on the Shelf is kind of amazing.
But I don't understand it.
Okay, so you have the Elf on the Shelf.
I get it from the name. I understand that point.
So
there's an elf and it's on a shelf?
So you have the Elf on the Shelf.
Right.
And every night he's mischievous. And he does something.
Why are we letting this guy in the house then? Why are we?
Because it's fucking fun, Grinch.
I'm just saying.
Grinch. I think I have your next Halloween costume.
Oh, man. Brandy had another one. What did she want to be? She wanted to be something so bizarre the other day. Like, she wanted to be like Patrick Swayze's hair or something. I don't remember what it was. It was something super weird.
That hurts my heart.
I'm sorry.
Because you've never seen Dirty Dancing.
I've seen Patrick Swayze, though. I know who the man
But his
is.
hair in Dirty Dancing.
His hair in Point Break.
Actually, Point Break and Roadhouse are like kind of stellar.
Right. You can't top those.
Yeah, but kids need more things to believe in. Like the Tooth Fairies, there's no set thing that you can't like just wait for. Like Christmas is a set day.
Sure.
You don't know when you're going to lose your teeth. So it's kind of like, Travis fell off his skateboard again. Time for the Tooth Fairy to come. And the Tooth Fairy could come like multiple times a year. And it's like, come on.
Tooth Fairy didn't treat you right, did she? You seem like you have a lot
Tooth Fairy was great.
Okay.
Tooth Fairy was great.
Tooth Fairy, here's my problem with the Tooth Fairy I grew up with. She could never decide on a monetary value of
it. It was
my
all
tooth.
over the map.
It was all over the place.
Based on the Dow Jones.
Yeah. It was like Bitcoin, but teeth. You never knew what it was going to be worth. Bitcoin. Bam! This is why we do the show.
Yes, it is. So I have a funny story about the Tooth Fairy, actually. So when I was a kid, I was like maybe preschool kindergarten. So my mom would wake up in the morning at like 5 o'clock in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
And
as moms do. That's like a very mom.
But no, because she had to work.
Oh, she wasn't just getting up to be a mom.
So she would, we lived upstairs, and she would wake up in the morning, and she would wrap me in a blanket. And I had to be maybe 5 years old. And she would carry me downstairs and put me in bed with my grandmother.
Okay.
And then my mom would be at work, and then I'd wake up in the morning for school, and my grandmother would cook breakfast for me and all that stuff. And I did this till I was like 19.
What?
You were No, I did this a lot. I was, I don't know, maybe like in second or third grade.
Okay.
But there was one time I lost a tooth, and I was very excited. And I was sleeping in my grandmother's. I put it under my bed or under my pillow. Uh-huh. And I woke up as my grandmother was doing the switch, you know?
Oh, no.
And I thought she was stealing my money. So I went to school, and I came home, and when I saw my mom finally, she was like, so did the Tooth Fairy come? And I go, yeah, and Nani tried to steal it from me. We laugh about it to this day. My grandmother's gone, God rest her soul, but yeah, I thought I caught my grandmother trying to steal my money.
Wow.
Yeah, I was a shrewd little fellow.
Do you know what I went through to get that?
Yeah, exactly. I was a shrewd little fellow.
I want to get back to the Elf on the Shelf thing.
Okay, Elf on the Shelf. He sits on the shelf. He causes mischief. The end.
That's it?
Well, look, there'd be cool things like, let's say someone knocked over, this is a bad example, and I'm blanking right now. But let's say someone knocked over the candy jar.
Okay.
And there's candy all over the table, right?
There's a candy jar?
Oh, my God.
I'm so excited about the candy jar.
Would you prefer I said cookie jar?
No, it'd be both. Can we have both? Can we? I'm not discriminatory. I'll take both.
Or you can say, I'm going to go a little dark here.
Oh,
let's say like the elves pee Kool-Aid, right?
What?
I just made this up. I'm just extrapolating. So the elves pee Kool-Aid. So you'd have like like Kool-Aid in the toilet bowl, and the elf would be like ta-da, and you take a picture of the elf with like the Kool-Aid in the toilet bowl, and then he doesn't flush, and in the morning the kids come and they see like red Kool-Aid in the toilet, and they're like, who put Kool-Aid in the toilet? And then they find a picture of the elf with it. Like the elf is like,
What the fuck are you trying to teach children with that?
it's just the elf, he does mischief.
And so he pees sugary drinks?
It's just an example, Travis. You can have him do anything you want. Or like, he has like you tell the kids he's like Big Drop Dead Fred, basically. You have the kids like they're like you can't, you have to have all your clothes folded, and then they wake up in the morning and all their clothes are unfolded, and they're like, wait, who did this? And then there's a picture of the elf being like, ta-da.
I don't understand then. What, I thought he was monitoring you to make sure you were good.
No, the elf does mischievous things.
So he's bad.
Yeah.
Well, then why would you want him in your house?
'Cause it's fun.
How is that fun?
It's
if
not-
okay, hold on. Let's remove the elf from it. Let's pretend the elf isn't part of it. If I came over to your house and was constantly peeing in your toilets and taking photos of myself and
If you
messing
keep
up your
Kool-Aid,
clothes-
I'd allow it. I'd be like, couple things here. One, this is awesome. Travis pees Kool-Aid. Two, how the fuck did Travis get in my house? I'm gonna start like keeping an eye open when I sleep.
You'd have to think back and go, I've had a lot of hot Kool-Aid over at Travis's house. That's weird.
Yeah.
Maybe I've just been drinking his urine the whole
Yeah,
time.
really. I never had Kool-Aid here.
I've never had Kool-Aid.
You never had Kool-Aid?
I've never had Kool-Aid.
You've never had Kool-Aid
I've
ever?
never had Kool-Aid.
Oh my God, Travis Clark, who the fuck are you?
I'm a guy who's never had Kool-Aid. I don't. I didn't want the mixing. I didn't. It's too much. And I'm a grab and go kind of guy.
It's 1 cup of sugar.
Yeah, already there. Like I gotta have another ingredient. And sugar.
1 packet of Kool-Aid.
Yeah, packet of Kool-Aid and the sugar, and you gotta like heat it up so the
No,
sugar.
you don't. It's Jell-O. You're thinking of Jell-O.
No, don't you have to? In order for the sugar to.
No, Travis.
Yes.
You're thinking of Jell-O.
I'm not thinking of Jell-O.
I can
No,
tell you
hold
with
on, hold on.
100% accuracy.
You heat it up.
You do
You
not.
put it in the refrigerator. You put fruit in it. Right. Kool-Aid.
Yes. No, you're right.
Right. Yeah.
That's
Right.
Kool-Aid.
It's Kool-Aid. You serve it and you call it Ambrosia Salad. That's Kool-Aid.
What the fuck is Ambrosia Salad?
Oh, you've never had Ambrosia Salad.
Viewers at home, listeners at home, tweet us at QuickQPod if you've ever heard and or had Ambrosia Salad.
Oh, my friend, you are going to be surprised at the number of people who've had Ambrosia Salad.
What is an Ambrosia Salad?
It's
Is this? I sounded like I was talking.
yeah,
What's
some of that
What's some Ambrosia? I think I said Brumbrosia.
think
What's some Brumbrosia salad? Hey, Travis, why don't you serve me up some Brumbrosia?
I peed in it with my Kool-Aid dick.
It's all the time we have here on Quick Question.
Oh my God, are we done already? That was so quick.
Serve me up some Brumbrosia.
Ambrosia Salad is Jell-O and fruit and marshmallows and sometimes other stuff sprinkled on top. Coconut sometimes on top.
I mean,
of it.
I've had like Jell-O with fruit in it,
It's usually
like peaches and strawberries.
Yeah, but
and...
ambrosia salad's usually kind of a pastel color. Like you've mixed in some kind of cream to the Jell-O and made it kind of opaque.
Okay.
And then you throw in the fruits, and it's a very 50s, 60s.
Sounds like it.
Yeah, very.
Pop a couple of Valium and make some Ambrosia Salad.
Sure. Yeah. I kind of want to make some now, except for the gelatin part. That's the only part I don't
Oh
like.
yeah, Travis, guys. There have been new developments
Well,
in the quick question pod family.
Yeah, we've changed a bit. We've had a little bit of
There was a
change.
time when Travis would be my go-to burrito guy.
I'm still your go-to burrito guy. It just has to be a different kind of burrito now.
Travis no longer eats the animals.
I don't. I had a fish. I've had fish with you.
When?
We went to sushi a couple of times.
Not since you've been veggie.
Oh, it's not true.
Oh,
Jamie's
actually,
birthday.
yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. Yep. So he no longer eats the
The
aminals.
not the land-fearing ones. The
Land-fearing
land-fearing
the land-fearing animals. So fish.
So birds, birds, yes, very scared of land. That's why they're in the sky all the time. Yeah, so I don't. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why he doesn't eat gelatin and Jell-O. You know, guys, we cover a lot of ground here on Quick Q Pod.
Yeah, we sure do.
So Santa Claus.
Santa Claus. Did Santa Claus bring you your favorite gift ever?
Yeah. I think he did.
Really?
Yeah.
What was it?
You know, going back in time, I kind of remember all the things Santa Claus brought me. I can kind of, I mean, if I sat around and thought about it, Santa Claus brought me a bike one year.
I think Santa Claus is a big bike. I think he's in with big bike.
Which is odd because I live in Chicago and I couldn't ride my bike in December because it was like snow everywhere. So I had to like wait till summer.
You had to wait 6 months to use your Christmas present?
Yeah. What else? You know what was a cool gift Santa Claus brought me one year? And here's the thing. Often Santa Claus would not get me what I asked for.
That's a problem with Santa.
It's not a problem. It was looking back, I realized Santa Claus did what he could.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Were you asking?
I was asking for some big ticket items.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And looking back, Santa Claus did what he could. And I don't know if I was ever truly grateful enough at that time in my life. But Santa Claus always made me happy, and I was never bitter towards Santa Claus. Which is, Santa Claus always came through. I remember one year he also got me like a radio, like with a tape deck.
Oh.
And I went around, it was like the first time I had like something to record cassettes. And he got me like a sleeve of cassettes too. And I was like making my own like shows.
I can't, you know what? There's nothing like that right now that you could say to a kid to make that. There's no modern version of that. That's like just. Totally...
It's a voice note on your iPhone.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess that's it. But like, it's a
the
weird
nostalgia of that,
yeah.
right? Yeah, where you have to push record and play at the same time.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, I did that. I used to collect. I used to record TV.
I used to collect sounds.
I did. I collect. I did. I would go and record.
Travis Clark is the sound collector.
This is an interesting sound of leaves.
That's actually really good.
Thank you.
Nice.
Thanks.
She used to collect sounds.
I did, yeah, and TV theme songs.
I did the same thing.
Yeah, where I would go and I'd hold it up to the TV.
Same.
Yeah.
And you had but it was like tough because if you messed it up, you had to wait till tomorrow.
Yes, you had to wait till the next day.
Yeah.
Or if you cut it off too soon or too.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, it was the worst.
I remember the first one I did.
Which was?
It was the theme song to DuckTales.
Oh.
And I used to listen to it and play when I was doing my homework. I would listen to it over and over.
I did Knight Rider.
Doon doon doon.
Doon 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 doon.
Yeah,
yep.
Man.
Guys, and the A-Team was another big one for me.
The A-Team, huh?
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun, bum, 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 bum. Yeah, man. You know what I miss?
What?
Theme songs. I miss theme songs.
They don't really. Most not so much.
I remember, when I was on this show called Shit My Dad Says, and the theme song was this. Don't you think you wanna be a little bit more like me? Oh, and that was it.
That's it.
Ben Folds did the theme song. And it was like 10 seconds, and it's like, back in the day, I remember like your family, you'd get together and you'd all sit around, and the theme song was a big part of the TV show.
Right.
Like we'd all sing the theme songs together and.
No, not anymore.
No,
they sold all that time to commercials.
Literally, yeah. We can make more money.
Yeah, you got it. That should just be the opening thing. You get it.
You get it. Starring these people, and it's like flash through the screen.
I guess we're doing a thing now.
And Christmas episodes, man. I used to get so excited for Christmas episodes.
Christmas episodes were always. They always end up being like talent show episodes, I feel like.
What do you mean?
Like there would always be like in the 80s, not so much in the 90s, but in the 80s there would be like the whole like, well, it's the Christmas pageant episode. It would just be like an excuse for everybody on the show to like sing a song or to try and do a talent that they probably also did in real life that the actor wanted to do.
I don't recall this.
Oh, I do. Amen.
Give me one episode.
Amen. Amen did it a few times.
A few times? They had multiple Christmas pageants?
Well, they would...
Which would make sense because it's a recurring theme, and it's like that does happen every year.
Every year it's a Christmas...
Amen was a great show.
Amen was wonderful. I loved Amen.
Oh my gosh, was that a good show?
Yeah. I don't know if I can give you a super accessible pull on a Christmas episode. I'm realizing now most people might be going, I'd never even heard of Amen. Yeah, I did not know that was a show.
So let's get back to this. So, Santa Claus.
Yeah.
Did you leave milk and cookies?
I did do that.
Yeah.
And carrots?
For the reindeer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Reindeer.
We kind of left whatever we had in our fridge. It was like what we grew up like that. We're like, we don't have any milk today, but we have a little bit of apple juice. So,
Do you ever sneak a Santa cookie?
no,
Oh, I did.
no.
I would break off a little.
I know. I
piece.
also remember there was a point in time when I would like want to leave milk. My mom was like, "The milk's gonna spoil." It was like,
So you wouldn't leave milk
we
out
wouldn't
for
leave
Santa?
milk out for Santa.
I just want to say, Santa's health has got to be in question.
He's for sure diabetic.
Yeah, I mean that's a lot of cookies. I can eat a lot of cookies. I can't eat millions of cookies in one night.
Billions.
Is he into the billions now?
I mean, if you talk about worldwide and average, like you leave like 2 to 3 cookies,
That's a lot of cookies.
that's a ton of cookies, man.
That's more than a ton. That's
That's
yeah.
a couple tons of cookies, guy. You snuck Santa cookies.
yeah, a couple times.
Wow. Did you ever get coal?
Oh, because I was bad?
Yeah.
No. That was not a thing that I knew about as a kid.
2 people in my family have received coal. One, my Uncle Lawrence, when he was a kid, literally got coal and nothing else.
Oh, what did he do?
He was a rebel rouser.
But what made him get on the naughty list?
I don't know. I think it was just kind of the perfect storm of being a little dick as a kid.
Did he turn his life around after that lump of coal?
He did.
Oh.
It worked. The coal worked. And then my cousin Danny got coal one year. He got coal. I think he got something afterwards, but he got coal.
What do you do with the coal?
Use it to warm your fucking
I
house.
know, but like
Nothing.
how big of a hunk of coal are we talking
Like a
about?
couple little nuggets.
So then you
You go in your sock and like you pull out a handful of coal.
Oh, like charcoal briquettes or like actual coal?
Coal rocks, like rocks made of coal. Not the best feeling as a kid.
You know what
You know what I think though?
What?
I think not enough kids get coal on Christmas.
You know what I think we don't talk about? How's Santa getting the coal?
So
Does he have a mine? Do the elves?
let me just.
Are
let
there
me just
elves
let me
walking around
clarify.
with black lung?
Let me clarify this.
Okay.
Your only problem with Santa Claus. Your only problem
Yeah.
with Santa Claus
Everything else checks
is
out.
where he gets the coal.
I get it.
Guys, that's called a throwback for our viewers, for our listeners at home. This relates to a Flintstones bit we did.
What, flying reindeer? We've all seen that. No
Going down
problem.
the chimney?
Yeah, going down a chimney.
But even when houses don't have chimneys.
Yeah, even when they don't have chimneys, eating several metric tons of cookies.
Yes.
Sure, that can happen. Having
elves build you stuff that could be purchased in a Radio Shack.
Sure, having an enslaved magical
Yeah.
Workforce. That
China.
sounds great. Sure.
China.
But where's the coal coming from? I don't understand. That doesn't check out at all.
Oh boy, we have fun here
We
at Quick
do.
Q Pod.
Yeah, you didn't ask me what my favorite gift was.
Well, that wasn't the quick question.
No, well, I asked you what your favorite gift was at Santa.
And
Barbara.
I appreciated that question. Thank you. Travis, quick question.
Yeah, what's that?
Where does Santa get? No, I'm kidding.
Where does Santa get his coal?
What was your favorite Christmas present?
Well, I'm not materialistic like you.
You fucking
so
dick.
Your friendship has really been the
You're a
biggest
dick.
gift.
You know what you are?
What's that?
You're a dick.
Why is that?
You're a dick with sleigh balls. That's what you are.
sleigh balls. I have
Sleigh
sleigh balls.
balls.
Is what I have. The favorite thing that
Wait, real
yeah,
quick.
What?
How many times do you substitute in Christmas carols camel toe for mistletoe?
Never. I've
All the time.
Never.
Every
done that.
time there's a song that has mistletoe, I substitute camel toe.
I
Because I'm a
will
child.
say that every time I listen to Jingle Bell Rock, I say
No, not Jingle Bell Rock. That's the wrong
No,
song.
which
We
one
sing
is
it
it?
together. So Tweedledee and
and
Dickory
Tweedledee
Dock, and don't forget who'll be
to
sucking my cock.
I'll
She'll be
coming
coming
down
around the
the
chimney
chimney
down.
down.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
it. Yeah, that's a go-to as well.
Yeah, I can't. I don't.
Hey guys, fun fact: I guarantee you, anyone who listens to this podcast is going to start substituting camel toe for mistletoe.
Help me.
There'll be snow and camel toe.
No,
Yeah,
I've never done that.
it's going to happen, Trev.
It's gonna happen.
Yep.
How long have you been camel towing?
Since I learned what camel towing was.
Really?
Yeah. We
So
know what we don't do enough of.
Camel towing?
Camel.
I love to go a Christmas camel towing just around the neighborhood. Just stop
Awesome.
in the street. Just let the children see what I'm working with.
man.
Yeah. What were we talking about? Christmas presents.
What was your favorite Christmas present?
My favorite Christmas present. Are we talking like of all time or like that Santa brought?
I'm gonna make this real easy for you.
Sure.
What was your favorite Christmas present?
I'm gonna have to stick with the guitar that Brandy got me about 6 years ago.
Great story.
Yeah. For those who don't know, there's a guitar builder that I'm a really big fan of, and his guitars have a very long waiting list to get, like extremely long.
Are we talking like a year?
2.
Okay, wow.
Because it's a one man operation, start to finish.
Gotcha.
So unlike, let's say, and I'm not shitting on a big company, but a company like Gibson has 4 or 5 to multiple people working on one guitar. The smaller, more artisan builders, it's usually one guy, soup to nuts, as they say.
Yep.
And so that means your work order gets pretty long. You can only make like 50 instruments a year. So if somebody orders a whole bunch, you're screwed. So I waited about 2 years for this. It was pretty expensive, and it was a good total surprise. It showed up on. I got the notification that I was going to get it one Christmas, and then I got it like 2 Christmases later.
It's amazing.
And it's a pretty sweet little machine. So
It's amazing.
I kind of can't top. I mean, like, I don't know. There's nothing else really, and it's literally made for me. Like, if you take off the pick guard, my name is on it. So like it's for me. So it's not like going into a shop and being like, here's the, like, it's for me.
So you want to hear a really cool, I'm getting nostalgic.
Oh, well, that's what the holidays are for.
Because you were saying it's for me, and that really made me think of something.
Okay.
So I was at Toys R Us when I was a kid, and my cousin Danny lived downstairs with his family.
This is Danny the Cole.
Danny Cole.
Danny Cole.
And he had purchased a Nintendo. He saved. He was an altar boy, and he had side jobs, and he saved his money for like a year and purchased a Nintendo. So I'm at Toys R Us with my family, my mom and dad and my brothers, and we're picking out presents and stuff like that. And I remember, like, we picked out these like controller covers, like for your old Nintendo. You put it on it, like it was like a cover for your controller.
I don't remember those.
Yeah, and it had like a stick you put in it, so it basically turned your controller into a joystick.
Oh, okay.
So instead of having the pad,
it
would have a stick out of there, so you can like use it. Yeah. So she's like, I was like, oh, Danny would love those. He'd like it for his Nintendo. And he's like, oh, cool. And we buy all these presents, and I remember Christmas morning, I wake up and there's this big box, and then there's all these like a couple small boxes. Now my parents probably thought I was going to open the big box first, but I didn't. I saved it. So I opened one of the small boxes, and it was the controller covers. And I was like, they thought they gave it to the wrong kid.
Gotcha.
It's like they were supposed to give this to Danny. And then I opened another small box, and it was a Nintendo cartridge.
Oh, you went in the wrong order.
And then I opened the big box, and it was a Nintendo.
Yeah.
Yeah. My original Nintendo, and it was amazing. I flipped out.
So but then you must have figured out that the big box.
I was like
right?
piecing it together but it's like, until it's unwrapped, it's like, can you imagine me unwrapping it? It's like an easy bake oven. I'd be like, fuck.
That would be the funniest thing to do to a kid. Okay, you have to open the big box last, and it's like this trail of clues.
Oh my God.
And it's surprise! Barbie's dream house. Enjoy your Nintendo stuff you can't use.
That's brutal.
That's worse than coal.
That would have been bad. But alas, Santa came through and got me the Nintendo.
I like that you were like Jonathan Sadowski, Christmas detective. Like, you were putting it all together. Like,
That's a great idea for a story. Christmas detective,
yeah. Solving the crime of Christ's birth. Right? No?
Oh boy! Wow.
Are
we? No, we got time, buddy.
We got time.
So, So the whole thing with Santa, like, and becoming Santa, I love. I am. Have you read or heard of the like the 5 love languages?
No.
You and Brandy should read this book.
Is it? How many of them are cookies? Boy, you just have no patience. The holidays have just worn you out with your patience with me.
There's no cookies, but there is a thing in there called gift giving. So like maybe your language of love, like the way.
Oh, it's not like Italian, French.
No.
No. Okay. Okay.
It's like there's gift giving or like kind deeds or like affectionate words. There's like different ways people show love, and I'm a big gift giver.
You are a big gift giver.
I love gifts. I love giving gifts. Not so much a big gift receiver. Oddly enough, that is not the love language I listen in. I understand. I speak in gift giving, but you have to find out on an inner level. You have to learn how you hear and how you listen and how you speak. So if I
got this straight, you speak in gifts, but you don't hear them.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why? It's
just a thing. Like for example, you might flatter your wife and call her beautiful all the time and tell her how much you love her all the time, and she might love it. But if she did that to you, I know when Melissa gets all schmoopy with me, I'm just like, I need 3 feet. I'm just like, I feel
so it's a
give and take.
I get it. The way I've heard this described is we always say treat people the way you want to be treated, and it should be treat people the way they want to be treated.
There you go.
You have to understand that how you want to be treated may not be how another person wants to be treated. So you have to understand the love language that you're speaking.
There it is.
I get it.
You should read this book. It's really good.
I think I get the gist of it. I think I got it. I think I got
there's languages and there's love.
Yeah, there's languages, there's love. Sometimes you give, sometimes you give.
Sometimes you speak, sometimes you listen.
I got it. I got the gist of it. I got the gift of it. I understand.
Oh boy.
So okay, as we're rounding the corner here of our little holiday get together, do you have a special Christmas memory that sticks out to you? Like one Christmas that felt more Christmassy than others, or?
I think they all kind of blend together. Yeah, I think you have a hard time discerning as a kid, like how old you were when certain things happen. Like I know because my Christmas traditions were the same every year. The whole family would come over. We'd go down to my grandma's apartment, and there was 50 of us, and we'd have a big dinner, and then we'd open presents, and we'd go to midnight mass, and then we'd come home, and then we'd go to bed, and then Christmas we wake up, and it was the same thing every year. So I have a hard time discerning between the years, but I think my favorite Christmas memory, and I don't mean to be a downer, but it was probably when my family was all there, when they were all alive. Because I distinctly remember the first Christmas my grandmother wasn't there.
Oh, I bet that's, yeah.
It was weird. And then I remember the Christmas my great aunt wasn't there and my Uncle Bruno wasn't there. And then I remember the Christmas my grandfather wasn't there. So I think, which is odd because I talking this out, I kind of blocked those from my memory. And it's I have to actively force myself to think about those for me to remember them. But when you say, what is your favorite Christmas memory? The one that instantly pops in my mind is all of us sitting together.
Gotcha.
It's
more of a feeling, right? Around the holidays than an actual tangible moment. Yeah.
I don't remember what we talked about. I don't remember the presents I got, but I just remember everyone being there.
Yeah.
And that was rad. How about you?
I not to dismiss my childhood, but one that sticks out to me as an adult was when I had my back surgery 7 years ago. I had it on November 30th. So going into the holidays, you were banged up. I was messed up, and everything hurt. Everything hurt. And I remember being in our old apartment, the one where we lived before we got our house. Brandy and I were there. I was a mess. They had jacked me up so much that even my feet hurt. They had been messing around with all my nerves so much that even the bottoms of my feet, I couldn't walk, and they'd cut me open in the front, and so everything hurt to breathe and whatever. And we were watching the Saturday Night Live Christmas kind of retrospective stuff. Mm-hmm. And I think it was the Will Ferrell, The Most Wonderful Time of the Year thing, where he stands and he's on this fucking platform just spinning around trying to sing It's the Most Wonderful Time of the Year. And he's like, I think it's going too fast. And I remember laughing, and it didn't hurt. It was the
Amazing.
first time it didn't hurt, and I got so excited about it not being in pain, and that just really kind of made the Christmas for me. So
That's awesome.
that was that's what sticks out to me.
Should we review?
To review,
Santa Claus is real. Santa Claus is great.
Santa Claus is a bit problematic.
The elf is problematic.
The elf, I don't understand. I can't put my head around it.
The elf makes shit happen. You take pictures of it. The end. That's the elf.
I mean,
It's a thing.
okay, but okay.
You don't understand the elf, but you understand the fucking tooth fairy.
I understand the tooth fairy. I get the tooth fairy.
The tooth fairy, we're bros.
We get it. We are fucking friends. I understand it. You have a thing that you're very passionate about. Other people don't get it. I understand the tooth fairy.
He causes mischief. He takes picture. Then someone takes a picture of it.
All right.
That's it. Like,
All
who
right.
did this? Oh, elf.
And then I still feel like there's an element where he's supposed to be making sure that you're being good.
Maybe.
I
I
think
bet.
that's
You know what,
the
Trev?
thing, yeah.
You can do whatever you want with
I
it.
think you're supposed to blame the shit you do on the elf so that Santa, you're trying to trick Santa. I think it's a Santa loophole. That's what I think the elf is.
Sure. Whatever you want to do with it.
I'm just not gonna do it. I think is what I'll do.
I'm just not
I'm
going to
just
do it.
not gonna do it. I'm gonna have some Ambrosia salad, and I'm not gonna do it.
Guys, no matter what your creed is, no matter what your belief system is, I think we can all agree that Christmas is about the people you're with,
Exactly.
and not even Christmas. The holidays are about the people you're with. Christmas, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, whatever, and about the memories you retain.
Make sure to really tell. I was gonna say something sincere for a second there. You
I
laughing?
thought you were gonna wrap it up with like telling them, make sure to follow us on Twitter.
No. Well, now that you mention it, you certainly could. It would be a holiday treat to follow us on Twitter.
I'm so sorry. Again, it's not about the presents, it's about the people you're with and the memories you retain.
And the number of followers you have on social media. I was going to say, make sure to tell the people in your life how important they are. Why are you making that face? Why are you making that face? I'm trying to have a sincere moment here.
I'm trying to let you have that moment, but now I can't stop laughing. All right, go for it again. Ready? It's not about the presents you get, no matter what your creed or religion is, Hanukkah, Christmas, or Kwanzaa, or whatever. It's not about your presents. It is about the people
What's happening?
and the memories you retain. Travis?
And remember to follow us on Twitter. You can find us at QuickQPod. Jonathan is at Sadowski23.
No,
and
finish it. Do your sentiment, dude.
This is my sentiment
No,
now.
come on, do it.
Look. The holidays are about who you choose to spend them with and who you have in your life. Make sure they know they're important because people don't always know that. And I know that I haven't always been...
And they're not always around.
They're not always around, and I know that I haven't always been great about letting people know how much I appreciate them, and that's something I've really struggled with. So do it while you can.
Hey, Travis.
Yeah, buddy.
I love you, man.
You're all right.
And I think this past year has been wonderful,
It has.
and this podcast has been a gift I never saw coming.
Me either.
So even though you despise Santa Claus and
I
you're a communist, you know what? In your own way, you kind of are Santa Claus.
I am in my own way. I do have an illegal coal mine that I like to disperse to children.
Guys, follow us on all the socials at Travis Went Over This Already, QuickQPod, at QuickQPod on Twitter, and the Instagram,
Yep, we're on both.
and we're on the Facebook.
Yep.
I'm at Sadowski23 on all.
I'm at Mr. Travis Clark on everything.
Until next year,
Have a merry holiday season.
and a blessed new year.
You want to get some Ambrosia salad?
Let's do it.
All right. Quick question.
'Twas the night before Christmas, and all throughout the pod, Travis was slamming pints of eggnog.
Nod? Did you say nod? Mm-hmm. It's nog.
I know it's nog. What the fuck is a nog?
I don't know. It's just what the drink is called.
It doesn't rhyme.
Fine. Jonathan was waiting with a question to ask while sipping some whiskey he hid in a flask. They chatted and kibitzed while waxing poetic, while swearing their flaws were strictly genetic. They covered aliens and music and life after death, astral projections, Shakespeare, and Macbeth.
They spoke of love and loss and friendship and romancing. Jonathan was floored when he found out Travis had never seen Dirty Dancing.
I get the gist of it.
No, you don't.
No, I get it. Like, dancing's illegal and there's a baby in a corner.
Agree to disagree. They finished the pod and reviewed all the lessons. They laughed at their candor and candid confessions. And when it was over and the mics were turned off, they high-fived and hugged and ate beef stroganoff.
We've never done that, and I don't eat meat anymore.
Can you eat meat in a pretend story?
I can say yes, but I'll probably just edit it out.
Jonathan smiled at Travis, eyes wide like a mosquito. What do you say we go get a burrito?
Now you're talking. And they laughed as they noshed on the Mexican treat, Travis's stuffed with veggies and Jonathan's with meat.
And when they pulled in their driveways and went into their homes, they were greeted with Christmas trees and the ones that they loved.
You're not even close to rhyming now.
Dude, we're in the home stretch. Let it go.
Just
let it go.
All right. Moxie and Melissa, Leroy and Brandy, stockings on the mantles, overflowing with candy.
And they texted each other as they both went to bed. This year was a blast. We should do it again.
I'll allow it.
And they both closed their eyes as the trees twinkled with light.
Quick question for all. Merry Christmas and good night.